Hi everyone, this is Sue Altenbach and welcome to Fall 2020 Yoga. And today we're going to go over some of our preparation for yoga. The first thing is think about in the next 2 days where you're going to do your yoga. I'm in here in the kitchen. I had to move the table over, but since I'm on a linoleum floor, I'm going to put a mat down so I'm not slipping. I'm going to have bare feet with a little yoga shoe on to keep the traction. The mat itself should keep you in place if you have a good tapas mat. And the mat, if you don't have one, is, and I've got some of these dimensions in the syllabus all listed, 1/8 of an inch thick or 1/4 of an inch thick. We don't want to go thicker than 1/4 of an inch because it's too hard to do our standing balances. The mat is 2 feet wide and the mat is usually about 68 inches long. If you're above 6 feet, taller than 6 feet, you might want to get a 72-inch mat, but you may not use that even if you are a tall person. So a mat is a requirement unless you're working outside. If you're working outside, you're probably going to be using your shoes, and you're going to stay in place pretty well with a lot of athletic shoes on. What are some of the pieces of equipment that I use in yoga? The first is a strap. This is a canvas strap with a plastic buckle so that I can make a loop. And it is 6 feet long. 6 feet is a pretty good length for most people. Some people like the 8 feet. I do not, because the extra strap gets in the way for me. But 6 feet long, a fabric that does not stretch. You don't want a stretchy fabric. Canvas works great. So if you have a karate belt, that would work fine, or any other kind of a belt that is not stretchy. Second piece of equipment that I love is the block. This is a yoga block. Most of them are 9 feet high, 9 inches high, not feet, 9 inches high, and about 5 or 6 inches across this way, the width, and then the depth can be 3 or 4 inches. And sometimes I like to use the smaller one, sometimes the larger one. What is the point of using a block? The block, especially in the style of yoga that we're doing, Iyengar yoga, was initially used to make a pose more safe. So instead of trying to get into a pose when your body isn't ready for it, using a block allows you not to have to stretch as deeply. And as a result, it makes it safer. So you'll see how the blocks are a really good piece of equipment to use. You can use 1 or 2. And we'll be going over situations where you use both. Another thing that you have in the house is a bath-sized towel, and folded, because for some of us, if we're doing a cobra, any kind of a back arches, we need to put a little bit of a lift under the hips to make the pose easier. If I'm doing a sitting position and it's hard for me to sit up tall, and I'll slip the towel under my hip sockets, and then I can more easily sit up nice and tall. So the towel also is used to make a pose easier. So we've got blocks, straps, towel, and a mat. That's about all you need. Some of you won't even need that much. And we'll get going. I'm going to send you your first video on Wednesday. And just decide on your space and get your equipment together. Namaste.